So when you have two people that want to be with each other, then you could eliminate that part of feeling like you can't live without that person. It's like you don't want to live without that person, which is a much healthier foundation, it's a much healthier relationship, and you can actually grow from that. When you're actually in the need, you just look for other things to need the other person for, and it just kind of spirals into this place that is not healthy for either one of you.
Home of the love snobs, love snobs, love snobs.
So we have our relationship building sessions, and our builders, one of the bigger questions our builders ask us throughout the session is, how do you build equal, healthy, and just relationships?
Yeah.
And what are some of the keys? And I always tell them, the main thing, you have to be confident. You have to be secure in the person you pick and the person you selected to actually lead to the faith in the relationship.
And you have to be honest with yourself in order to pick the right person. I think that we often pick people that don't really fit what we really want. But if you really truly know what you want, then you can honestly pick somebody that's gonna.
But what would you say is some of the
Well, transparency. I think that being
Definitely.
transparent is really important
Uh-huh.
to building an equal relationship, because if you are not open and willing to allow someone in, then you're not able to connect properly.
Definitely.
I would say transparency. Did I just say transparency?
You just said transparency. But I would say
vulnerability. That was
Yeah.
the next one. Vulnerability. I think that, vulnerability we're taught that, it's a sign of weakness, but it's really a strength. So if we could use it to really connect with one another and be honest about where we are in certain spaces, then I think that would also
I think that that's definitely
create
an
an
important
even
thing.
playing field.
Yeah, it's an important thing. But I think when it comes to vulnerability, a lot of people believe they're being vulnerable by actually being in the relationship and actually allowing themselves to feel and actually allowing.
No, you look at that as.
But a lot of people
Yeah.
have that understanding. So the misconception is, when we do think about transparency, it's like I'm telling my deepest secret, but you're not telling your day-to-day thoughts.
Yeah.
You're not really engaging the way you should, or the way you're not bringing your partner in to your everyday. You're telling them things that
big
now,
things.
yeah, things that now make them feel closer. I would never tell anybody this, but tell them the things that you would tell other people. Mm-hmm. Tell them things that you talk to your friends about.
Yeah.
Just bring them in, because when you have open dialogue, and when you have them open discussions, I think people are more inclined to engage. And then when you go out, they're comfortable with you leaving the house, because they know when you come back, you'll have a discussion about what went on. And then now the relationship flows a little more, because you're always in the loop.
But they're also
What goes
comfortable with being with you and your friends. You know what I mean? Because they're not around you and other people finding out new things about you.
Definitely.
So I think that it's really important to, like you said, to talk about your day-to-day, the little things too, because it gives the person a whole view of who you are, not just the person that's my girlfriend or the person that, like the little pieces of you, they get to get all of you. So I think that's important to building a just equal relationship, because then I think the other person can gauge if that is the right person for them based on their day-to-day.
Definitely. And I think to add to that, you said transparency, and we've seen how we connected that they go hand in hand. Transparency and vulnerability.
So much so I said
it allows it to go on. But it also knowing your role. That's one of the important things we say. If you marry somebody or you're with somebody who is very intelligent and you believe they have, let's say, quote unquote, a better IQ than you, when it comes down to more of the academic stuff, they're gonna have more of the information.
Yeah.
You should never let that be a weakness. You should praise them for it and use them as a reference when it comes to those things. Empower them in that situation. If you now are the person who maybe is the better looking person, you have to have an understanding that I'm better. To the general population, I am a better looking than you, so I'm more of a catch in that way. So you don't want a partner that feels inadequate because you're better looking, or every time somebody says you're beautiful, and they'll tell me they don't never say anything about me. Now I'm resentful towards you. I went in knowing that you may get more praise because you're a better looking person.
Well, that's a good
So
point.
I think those are the things that people really don't talk about.
It's
going
not
in
leading.
depth.
Well, not leading with your insecurities.
Definitely.
I think that's another way to have an equal relationship. I think when you lead from a place of weakness, the outcome is never really good. When you're leading with your emotions and you're allowing your emotions to dictate certain things that dictate how people treat you, that doesn't create an even playing field.
Definitely.
So if we're together and you're always considering my feelings and how I'm going to feel, and you don't want to say something to me because you don't want to break my spirit, then that really doesn't, then we're not really on the
But
same
I mean,
page.
and that's how we're all taught. That's how we're taught to be in relationships. That's why it's important that we're teaching people that you have to be a love snob, meaning that you have to live, eat, drink, breathe, love. And in doing that, true freedom, you have to have true freedom. And true freedom is understanding what you bring to the table, understanding your strengths, understanding your role. So
And
being
understanding
comfortable in
your
your role. Like
weaknesses, too.
everybody's not the boss of a job, or everybody is not the entrepreneur. Some people help that vision come to light. So we all need the pieces, and we need to be comfortable in those roles. If you're a secretary, be the best secretary there is. So it's important that you know your role in your relationship. If you're the person that's a little bit more outgoing, you know, your partner shouldn't
Stay for you.
stifle you, or they shouldn't envy you because you're the outgoing person. They should say, listen, my wife is outgoing, listen, my husband's outgoing, and I love that about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not as outgoing, but and I'm not trying to compete with him. That's his time to shine. It's going to be my time to shine. When now I'm maybe more like what we talked about, more of an academic. When it's now more academic discussions, we're going to now I'm going to now be the one that's the outgoing one in that situation. And he might take or she might take a backseat, but feel comfortable in that and feel empowered by your partner's strengths. And a lot of people don't see that, and they don't hold on to that. So I think in talking to our builders in our sessions, it's important for them to know though there's steps to this, and there's things that you really need to understand. Like we always say, have honest discussions. Like really sit down and talk about the things you don't like about your partner.
Yeah.
A lot of people avoid it,
Well, it only comes
or
up
they
when they're
wait till they upset.
Yeah.
No, you should be doing it on a day-to-day basis. You should, or even if you don't have the time, on a weekly basis. But set aside time to have those honest discussions. That's not just about the positives, but also about the negatives that we can improve on. Because we all have self-improvement. We all
Absolutely.
need to work on things. And let's say independent, you comfortable with who you are. But as a couple, coming
changes,
together, you have to merge. In doing that, you have to compromise. So you have to have an understanding. Like, yo, I want you to pick up your underwear when you come out the bathroom. Don't just leave it on the floor.
Yeah.
Like be conscious, be conscious of that. That may be a little thing. I don't like the fact that you try to kiss me early in the morning when I'm not really keen on your breath. Be conscious of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're just saying we can improve, we can work on this, and I have a right to say things that need to be said.
But I think it's one of those things that if it's sometimes when people do say things to you, it stings at times.
Definitely. Stings
But-
are decent.
Well, you know, it's always good to take a step back and think to yourself, wow, they are actually telling me this.
Definitely.
So they're giving me the opportunity to change.
Definitely.
Like they could not say anything. And either A, have baggage, or B, just kind of move on mentally to something, you know what I mean? And not really give the other person the opportunity to fix it. So I think that that's another thing that helps build strong relationships, is that when people take out the time to have certain conversations with you so that you can change certain things, I think that needs to be looked at as a good thing as well.
Definitely.
And not as a bad, like not as a, oh, you want to argue, oh, you always got something to say, but it's like, I am saying it because I want to give you the opportunity to make changes if that's what you're going to do.
Definitely. I think the most important, like what we tell them, the most important thing is if you have a cut, you disinfect it, no matter if it stings or not.
Yeah.
And you have to disinfect it to clean it out. So therefore, that sting is a positive. It's disinfecting all the negativity in your relationship. You're actually addressing it. You're actually bringing it to the light, and then now it's clear amongst you. So nobody else outside your relationship could bring it up. It's something that y'all understand about one another. Y'all understand it builds y'all closer, and it brings y'all closer together. Not builds y'all. It brings y'all closer together. So it's important to, like, that's not all the things, but that's the start of being in an equal, healthy, and just relationship. I think it really starts with honesty, commitment, and to build the faith. And the only way you're going to have faith is if you know that your partner is going to be there and completely present.
It's really easy to take people, things around you for granted. When's the last time you sat back and reflected on how grateful you are for the certain people that's in your life, the fact that you have a job, the fact that you are healthy? You know, we need to take that time and recognize that, because we go through life talking about or thinking about all the things that we don't have instead of really appreciating all the things that we. So today, how about you let the person or people in your life know that you really appreciate them?